today because there's a crisis here in Jackson. I'm Jeff Good, restaurateur. 23 years ago, Catholic Charities knocked on our door over at Bravo and Broad Street and introduced us to 9 wonderful young men. These were part of the roughly dozen and a half Sudanese refugees known as the Lost Boys that were brought through Catholic Charities to Jackson, Mississippi. And these 9 young men were introduced to us because they were in their mid-teens. They did not speak our language. They wanted to find some part-time work, and our restaurants were able to hire and incorporate them into our lifestyle. 23 years later, a number of these, they're no longer lost boys, they're men. And a number of them have gone on to professional jobs here and across the nation. And quite a few of them have stayed in our organization. Our head baker at Broad Street, Queth, and Dau Mabil. Dau is a pizza chef at Salamuki's. And while he came to me 23 years ago as a lost boy, he is now a lost man. He went missing last week. And so today's press conference is a chance for the public to meet his wife, Karissa, his brother, Boole, and to have them explain what happened the day of his disappearance a week ago at about this time, and then also to make a plea for his safe return. So this is Karissa Boley. Karissa, I've known for a number of years. She's worked in our restaurants. She is a wonderful resident of Jackson, and she's going to share the story of Dau's disappearance.
Hey all, I really appreciate everyone who is here and who is watching and who has their faces on the face of Dau Mabil. So on a week ago on Monday at 11:58, I got a text message from Dau that he was going on a pretty routine walk, that he was leaving his phone at home on the charger. We walk a lot. We walk Jackson a lot. We especially walk the Belhaven Heights areas a lot. So he left from home in just on the corner, on the edge of Belhaven Heights and Belhaven, just on the between those neighborhoods. So off Fortification Street. He left our house at 11:58 or noon. We caught him on cameras just minutes later, so we know that he left on his walk. The last confirmed sighting of him via video or camera was 20 minutes later, walking south on Jefferson Street, right outside of the Sunflower Oven Bakery. We're asking for all possible help in finding him. We don't know how long he went on his routine walk. From there, it seems he didn't take a left on Spengler like we thought, but we don't know anything more than that. We're really looking for camera footage around the Belhaven Heights, the Belhaven area, Jefferson Street, the east side of downtown, all of downtown. Anybody who has any type of camera access at all in those areas, it can really help us finding where he went, which direction he went, what happened. Even if you have a camera that doesn't have footage of him, that could also be helpful. So we're asking everyone to please help in locating cameras and helping us get that footage in the area. We're also asking that people be familiar with his face and his name. His name is Dau Mabil. And if you can recognize him, I think the best way to recognize him is to say his name, Dau. I know that when you don't know somebody, it's hard to recognize somebody you don't know. But he is a tall, skinny African man. He is 6'6" and weighs 145 pounds, so he's very skinny. He was wearing a colorful outfit when he left. He was wearing his yellow fleece hoodie around his waist and an orange long sleeve shirt and blue track pants with white stripes down the side. Um, and we just want people to know his face and know his name. And besides the cameras that are in the area, we're just hoping that that Jackson and the people in and around Jackson can also be cameras for us, because if you know his face and his name, and you know that he has a family who really, really wants him back, then please reach out. We have Crime Stoppers. Please call Crime Stoppers. Please call me. Please call the Capitol Police, who are on the case. And we appreciate literally any information. We appreciate any information. No information is bad information. If we get information and we decide, we know him. So if we get any information, it will help us. It will really help us. So we really appreciate any help from Jackson and the surrounding area in finding him. He loved Jackson. He really loved Jackson, and a lot of people around Jackson are familiar with Dau Mabil's face, because we frequented, everywhere around town. We frequented gas stations, just everywhere. So he is known, and so I just want people to be on the lookout for him and to help us, please. We miss Dau. We all deserve love, and my love is Dau. So please help us find him. Thank you. And Bull is his brother. He came all the way from Houston pretty immediately when he heard. So Bull is here in town, and he's going to talk next.
Hello everyone. My name is Dau Mabil. I'm Dau Mabil's brother. I'm reaching out today to come and plead to you, the public, to try to help bring home my brother, Dau Mabil. I'm a former Sudanese lost boy. Along with my brother Dau, we were resettled in Jackson, Mississippi as refugees 23 years ago to escape the horrors of wars in Sudan. Unfortunately, my brother Dau has gone missing, and I'm desperately trying to locate him. I'm asking for your help in finding him. If anyone has any information that could lead to his whereabouts, please contact the Jackson, Mississippi law enforcement agencies at 601 359 3125, and also Crime Stoppers at 601 355 8477. If you provide a good tip that will lead to Dau being found, you can receive 2,500 to locate him. My family and I will not stop looking for Dau until he returns home safe and sound. We are all devastated by his disappearance and are hoping that someone out there can provide us with any information that could help us find him. I want to thank all the members of the press for coming out today to cover the missing of my brother. And I want to thank especially Jeff Good for coordinating this press conference uh, and the members of the communities. As you can see, that was a very well-loved guy. That loved everyone. He was my mother's last born. I went down home. My mother is still alive. She went down to come back. My mother still live in the refugee camp in Kenya. She went down to be back home. Please help Dau to come home. We were not expecting that to come to a country like America, that somebody who has experienced war would get lost like he has been missing for the last 7 days. Please help bring Dau home. That's all I can ask from you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Good evening. I am Valina Greer, Dow's foster mom. I got Dow when he was about 8 years old.
I'll bring him down further, don't worry.
Dow is the sweetest soul. He never met a stranger. He never met a strange dog. He was always trying to look out for everything and everybody. Dow was very comical. He was the hardest worker I had ever seen. The most disturbing thing is Thursday, the 21st, just before Dow became missing, and he was very upset. So I kept trying to tell him I'm in the middle of testing. But he was so upset I had to keep listening. But he was very upset with some key people in his life. I talked to the policeman about them. He also said his name was being dragged through the mud, lies was being told on him, and he didn't understand why. I said, what are some of the things? He said, people are calling around in my face and saying that I'm a drunk. I said, well, I know better than that. He said, I'm no drunk. He said, people show up at my house with drugs, and I tell them to get out. I don't want to smell that stuff in my house. And they even try to make me take it. He said, but I told them, my mama taught me better than that. Dal told me some very upsetting and disturbing things. He was very upset. We looked at the call. It was about 22 or more minutes as I stood there in my classroom trying to get him calmed down. So eventually I told him to call his sister, my daughter Monica. They grew up together. He called Monica. He told Monica he was coming by on Friday. He didn't make it. So he called her back and told her he was coming Saturday morning. Then he changed it again. He said, I have a meeting with my wife, and I'm coming later on Saturday. We never heard from Dau again. And I want to say, Dau, if you listen, you know how much we love you. I don't know what you're running from. I don't know who you're running from. But you know you're always safe with me. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you don't have to. You're not a child. You don't have to run like a scared animal and hide. We are here for you. And if you don't want to be bothered by people, you will not be bothered by the people you don't want to be bothered by. I heard you. I heard you thirsty when you talked to me. I heard everything you said. If you can hear me, please contact us. We know who your enemies are. We know what you've been going through. You've been talking about it for a long time. And no, you are not a drunk. If I don't hear from you, I'm going to continue to send my prayers to God. We love you. Just know you don't have to run from anybody, hide from anybody or anything. Reach out to God. He got you. And I got you too.
Family members have made very, very sincere, very, very powerful statements to welcome Dau back, or to those who might know where Dau is or might be with Dau. Some very generous benefactors have put forth money. There's a $2,500 reward, up to $2,500 following the Crime Stoppers procedure. Any tips called into the 24-hour Crime Stoppers line will be processed, and as Boole mentioned, good information will be paid for Dau's return. The family is here for the press to be able to ask any questions. There are flyers. We also have electronic images of the flyers and the pictures that can be provided to media. The key is to do everything we can in today's news cycle to be able to provide to this city that a lost boy of the Sudan is now a lost man, and he's been lost for 7 days. And we're making a plea to our community to please help us find Dau Mabil. Thank you.
Thank you.
If any members of the press want to ask any questions individually or mic up, however you'd like to do it, y'all.
I have fact sheets and with pictures on the back.